Greetings. We continue today the study of Revelation 15. The final seven messengers equipped. We're considering verses 5 through 8. Today we look at the temple opened in verse 5. After these things I saw, and the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony, it was opened in the heaven. Now look back to Revelation 11, verse 19, where John stated, "The temple of God was opened in heaven, and there were seen in the temple the ark of the testament or covenant, and there were lightnings and voices and an earthquake and great hail." However, in Revelation 15:5, we find the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven. This causes two thoughts to come to mind. One primary and the other subordinate to it by grammatical construction. The primary thought is the temple in heaven. The subordinate thought is of the tabernacle of the testimony. Now, these allusions to the Old Testament tabernacle and its furnishings once again reinforce the concept that God is dealing with the Jewish nation and not with the New Testament church, as some attempt to make it. Remember, Hebrews chapter 8, verses 2 and 5 teach us that the earthly tabernacle was patterned after the heavenly temple, which is the true tabernacle built by God and not by men. Hebrews 2:8 calls it the sanctuary, which is the adjective agion, holy or sanctified. There is a place which is to be set apart unto God. This is the reason why we refer to the place where we assemble for worship as a sanctuary, and we guard our conduct while in it by what we think and say and do. We should spend a great amount of time looking back to the tabernacle and its furniture and their functions in this respect. However, for time's sake, we cannot do so here. The very phrase, the tabernacle of the testimony, refers to the most holy place, or the Holy of Holies in the Old Testament tabernacle. This was the innermost place where the Ark of the Covenant was kept, according to Exodus 26:33, upon which rested the mercy seat, which was the place where God promised to meet with man in Exodus 25:22. We now understand that the mercy seat was a type of Jesus Christ himself, Emmanuel, God with us. It is only in him that a holy God can dwell with and among sinful men, redeemed through faith in his shed blood. In Old Testament times, only the high priest could go into this place, and he could only go in once a year with, quote, the blood of the atonement. Hebrews teaches us now we have direct access since Jesus opened this veil through his flesh. Hebrews 10:20. In this Ark of the Covenant was kept the testimony which God would command. According to Exodus 25:16, it says, "And thou shalt put into the ark the testimony which I shall give thee." After the fact, Hebrews 9:4 enlightens us that the items contained in the ark were Aaron's rod that budded, the 2 tables of stone upon which the, quote, 10 commandments were written, and an omer of manna. Therefore, with great solemnity, we should understand that we're seeing the most holy part of God's holy heavenly temple now opened.